Gotta be true to yourself. In a world there's nothing else. Gotta play the game right, gotta make your path. You scratch, you dig, you lay in your ground. You bustin' your rounds, nobody gon' stop you. No ops, no cops, everything about you. Looking good, you good, she good. Y'all people really wanna know the reason? It's that ripple effect. That's just that ripple. That's just that ripple effect. What you do, come back.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl KDOT, back in Ripple Effect. You already know what it is, and you already know the vibes. Yeah, I'm out here in Destin, Florida. You already know my favorite coffee shop, Camille's Caramel Latte, A1. But listen, appreciate all you subscribers, new subscribers pouring in every day. I appreciate you guys. I also appreciate the dialogues. You guys either challenging me or just saying what's up, and I appreciate it. It's all well received because at the end of the day, you guys keep the show going, so nobody's better than y'all. But to get right into it, we already know the Chiefs and Lions played the other day. Lions put y'all on notice, right? It's still early. It's just week 1. But we can get excited. Let Detroit get excited, okay? It's okay. I know some people just want to think about the Detroit Lions of the past, but I don't think they are the Detroit Lions of the past. I think they're building something special, and just sit back and relax. Don't ruin it. You know, a lot of people don't ruin it. All right, we got some good matchups today. I mean, honestly, as a Giants fan, I'm already looking forward to that Cowboys-Giants game. That's not till tonight, but you know, that's the headliner. It's Sunday Night Football. You already know. But I'm also looking forward to that Bills-Jets game tomorrow night. That's Monday Night Football, big stage. We're really going to see if the Jets' offensive line could keep Aaron upright. You know, there's a lot of different factors. Because I know everybody's looking at Aaron Rodgers to be the savior of Jets football. You know, I know, because I've been to a Jets game, and you guys are still wearing your Namath jerseys. I know y'all trying to turn over a new era. You're trying to get that Super Bowl, baby. At least get there, right? I totally understand that. We got to see what Josh Allen's gonna do, right? Josh Allen, we got to see what's up. I know a lot of people are kind of back and forth with him again. But that's how it is. You know, football. It's humbling, right? You do something great, and then you have a mistake here and there, and everybody just wants to jump on you, and then they act like you can never be what you were, right? I mean, it's like it's a roller coaster ride, so it's just you just gotta sit back and enjoy the ride for the most part. I mean, especially if you're not playing, right? You can sit back and enjoy it. I'm pretty sure if you're a player, it's pretty annoying. But at the end of the day, I think it's dope. Thinking about the Baltimore Ravens, right? You saw what Lamar had to go through to prove his worth throughout the off season. Not sure what was gonna happen. You know, people back and forth whether he should have an agent and how he's going about things is wrong, and I know I even had my 2 cents about it, and that's fair. But if you guys didn't get a chance to tune in or you didn't know about it, I'll brief you in. I mean, you could pull the tape, but I was just on the standpoint of some of these agents, they've been in the business for a long time, and not to mention you have these guys on the other side for the organization. They've been negotiating deals for a long time, and this is like what they eat, sleep. I mean, they breathe. This is what they do, right? So if you come in here and it's like, yeah, you got the seat at the table because you that dude, right? Like Lamar's that dude. But if you don't even have someone representing you that can kind of share that same experience, understands the work, understands the grind, understands just the business, just the, you know what I mean? There's a finesse, there's nuances that go on, and I was just trying to say I respect that part of it. Like I can see both sides, but I'm just saying I can see that part of it, of how they may have felt a way that you're gonna bring somebody in here or bring nobody with experience and to try to negotiate something that we've been doing for how long? For how many big names? And I mean, business is life, but I totally get it. But the point is, Lamar went through a lot, right? I know a lot of it was media hype, media driven. I know Lamar probably just needed to be patient and not get caught up and everything that everybody was saying, and just stay steady, stay true to what he believed in, what the cause was, right? He knows the caliber quarterback he was. He knows how he numerous times put that team on his back. I know a lot of people probably had a problem with him not playing in the playoffs, and it was a bit questionable about what he should have. The point is, not only did they get the deal done, they signed Odell Beckham Jr. I know a lot of people are talking about the ACLs and the injuries and if he's going to be that player. Listen, a guy that works that hard, that trains that hard, and is just that special, just that talented, it's not for me to decide. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that is not for me to decide. That's not for no one to decide. I mean, I get it. You know, you're just thinking about the injury. You're just thinking about, but nah, like, that's not possible. It's going to be, football it's rough, man. It's rough. I mean, week 1, it could be it, you know? But at the same time, Odell, you're not really asking him to do a whole lot. You know why? Because you got Zay Flowers on the other side. Don't forget, you got Mark Andrews. Like, they can run the ball. Their defense is going to keep them from not having to score 1,000,000 points every game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to keep it so competitive. It's going to be fun to watch. I think they are a team to watch, guys. I know, like I said, everybody just wants to fixate on one thing. But I think, you know, Odell's utilization, it's not going to be as high as everybody thinks it's going to be. Not because he can't. Because I just don't think they need to. Zay Flowers is going to be a breakout wide receiver. Watch. Now, as for the Browns, I know a lot of question marks around Deshaun Watson and Jen, but we're strictly talking on the field, so let's not even do that. I'm just saying, everybody was expecting him to be that player, you know, at least somewhat last year to see. And it's like, come on, man. Like, that, I feel like that's just disrespecting the game, because at the end of the day, you really think you could kind of take off for 2 years. Not saying that he wanted to, but I'm just saying, like, he wasn't able to play. So you're going to take off for 2 years. Meanwhile, these guys have been training, meaning the rest of the league, and playing these games, and, you know, just the grind every day, getting better, understanding the speed. I mean, you watch some guys that don't play 2-3 weeks in a row, and you watch them come back and they're just out of rhythm. You know what I mean? I mean, we kind of got a little taste of that with Tony, right? What happened? Him and Patrick Mahomes just did not have that connection. Why? He missed out on training camp. You know, he didn't get that many reps. He didn't get that many snaps with him. You know, and you saw it. Patrick Mahomes was hitting them right in the numbers, baby. Like, right in stride, right where he's supposed to be. You know, it's bouncing off of him, and interception, and, you know, it was a whole mess. Point is, Deshaun Watson had 2 seasons off. So last season was just him getting acclimated to things, especially if you're in the spotlight. I can't imagine how that must, especially in such a negative light, like, mentally, that has to take a toll. So what I would assume, I don't know if he's going to be exactly the way he was 2 years ago, but he might be pretty close. I think he will be pretty close. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, because, you know, people have recency bias. They, you know, what have you done for me lately type of attitude. But at the end of the day, it's like, come on, man. Like, these guys are world-class athletes, and they got to where they were for a reason. And I don't think he would settle to kind of just say, okay, yeah, two years ago I was on the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, easy, and now I'm okay with just being average. Like, no. I think he's got that dog in him. I think he's going to show y'all what's up. Like, to what extent, that remains to be seen. But I do think he's going to show y'all something. And also, too, just to go on another team, listen, Steelers Nation, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Steelers. I mean, Coach Tomlin's ridiculous. I mean, the man just can't lose, no matter what. You know, rookie quarterback, injuries to TJ Watt, it don't matter. He's still coming in there. He's still letting y'all know, listen, I'm one of the best coaches for a reason, and I like Kenny Pickett. I like the game plan. You already know what that defense do. They just have a history, right? I think they're gonna sneak up on some people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think we forget about them. You know, especially if they have a slow start or if it's just not there because of injuries or things that just happen. Especially because when TJ Watt, everybody was kind of counting them out. But the Steelers, man, just can't count them out. You just can't count them out, and that's gonna be dangerous too. And I was also thinking too about the 49ers. I know a lot of people already have them going, to the Super Bowl. And I mean that's premature. Let's see what happens. Like I spoke about in the last episode, you have to keep in mind Brock Purdy. Now he was that dude. Yeah, he did his thing. Now I'm not taking nothing away. But like I had already said, these coordinators, these defensive coordinators, have film. They studied him. They watched him. They know his moves. They know what he's gonna do. That's all I'm gonna say. So, with that being said, I mean, I know they got Nick Bosa. You know what I mean? I get it. The defense is solid. I'm not gonna say a thing about the defense because they've done enough for me not to even say anything. If you've been watching, then you know. Point is, the offense, I think it still has some questions. And we'll just leave it like that. I have questions about that. So I don't know. I mean, Super Bowl. A lot of people talking about the Eagles, right? Eagles are consistent, steady, great leader in Jalen Hurts. I know they had that with Darius Slay. They wasn't sure if they would sign him. Then they signed him. That's big. Jason Kelsey not retiring. That's huge. AJ Brown. They have a squad. I know either people don't want to see them do it again, get to Super Bowl, or I don't know what it is, but they are solid. I know they do have a lot of changes in the coaching area, but listen, I think when you have a culture and when you have guys that's bought in to the point where they're like, I'm not going to retire, or they truly do believe in the cause, I think that's more powerful than anything you can imagine. Because when you have guys that believe, you already know they will run into a wall for you and they won't ask no questions because they believe. I think that's what the Eagles have. Now, I know everybody wants to talk about the Cowboys as well and and Dak and whether, I'll tell you right now, by Jerry Jones going out to get Trey Lance, right? I'm not going to sit there and say that was a bad move because you should always be looking towards the future. You should always looking to have a backup quarterback because you never know what may happen, especially when you had the 49ers lose like 3 in one game. So it's just good sense, But for Dak's psyche, for not even letting him know, like he wasn't involved. Now, when I mean involved, I don't necessarily mean you're asking for his opinion. I know he's not the GM. I know he's not maybe in some of those rooms because Jerry, right? He gonna do whatever it is that he wants to do. But at the same time, and I heard Mike McCarthy didn't know, so it's almost like Dak and McCarthy are on notice in a sense because it's like, why wouldn't they be privy to that information? Like when we talk about the GM and the coach and we talk about that relationship and how important that when they're on the same page, it's like we always make that analogy with going shopping and the cook. If I'm cooking, I want to kind of coordinate with the shopper to, it's just a comfort thing, it's a preference thing, with whatever I'm trying to do, whatever scheme I'm trying to, and the fact that they wasn't even privy to that information, they were just like, Jerry Jones just said, this was it, I'm just doing it, it makes sense. Honestly, it was a great deal. I mean, for nothing, he pretty much got him for. But They could have been in the room. They could have, they didn't have to be in the room. They could have been some background noise. They had the phone on speaker. You know, if you really want to get, could have been a Zoom call. Could have been FaceTime. You know, we got a lot of technology, AI, you know, I mean, he is a billionaire, right? I'm pretty sure he could have invented his own form of AI, you know, projection. Point is, they could have been in the room, and the fact that they weren't in the room, that's crazy. And knowing all the pressure on Dak not to throw these interceptions, like, I mean, I get it. Like, what are you doing? Not supposed to be turning the ball over if you plan on winning the game. Totally get it. Like, that's a given. Quarterback, you're not supposed to be having 15 interceptions in one season, and you were out like 4. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to. No, you're not supposed to be the second highest, you know, throwing interceptions. Like, we're not doing that. Totally get it. But at the same time, it's like, you can't do that to Dak right now. Like, this is crucial. This is such a crucial time for his extension. Where is he gonna go? I don't know. That was just weird to me. That was a little weird. But Cowboys defense, Dan Quinn. You already know how I feel about Michael Parsons. They're gonna get it done, man. The defense is not gonna get. They're gonna get it done. There's so many teams out there where you're looking at the defense where you're like, if this team loses, it's not on the defense. Before they even play it down, you already know who it is. And it's not them. So the whole point is, it's really going to be on the offense. It's really going to be on CeeDee Lamb, right? But more so on Dak. It's just that connection. Knowing if he can trust his wide receivers to be there when they're supposed to. And that's the problem, too, because even if Dak is throwing the right passes, I'm not saying all of them because obviously that's just not it. But I'm saying, but if he's trusting that his receiver is supposed to run a particular route, and he's supposed to be there, and I'm sort of like throwing you open in a way because these windows, they close in an instant. So I guess, like I said, I can see both sides to it, but for Dak's psyche and understanding everything and where his mind is at, I would think you'd be trying to make this dude more comfortable versus being uncomfortable. Because sometimes uncomfortable does work for certain players and certain people. But just knowing where he's been in the league for like, 9-10 years already? How he feels things out, where his comfort level is versus, you know what I mean? How he plays when he's comfortable versus when he's uncomfortable. I don't know. But he's really going to have to show people, like, listen, I'm that guy, and I'm not to be messed with. I don't care who's here. And I get it. It's always that next man up mentality. I get it. It's super competitive. You should be watching over your shoulder if you're not doing, you know, what the team needs you to do. Because at the end of the day, it is a business. And NFL, they're in the business of winning. And by the looks of those ratings and, you know, having, B-52s fly over, they're in the business of winning. You don't get no, $2 billion aircraft to fly over the Thursday night football, you know, with the Chiefs and Lions game, unless you about winning. And don't quote me with that aircraft, you know. But I thought that was impressive. But there's a lot of teams out there, okay, guys, that I know that you're sitting here and you're still trying to figure everything out. It's just week 1, though. It's just week 1. We're not really going to get such like a great idea about what's going on. I know some people are talking about the Patriots and how Mac is going to do, right, with the new coordinator. I get it. He had it rough last year. He wasn't himself. But that, I think it all goes back to, I know some people they just look at the team and they're like, oh, if they're on this team, they should do well. No. It's all about the scheme. It's all about where that the quarterback skill set has to match whatever the coach is trying to do, whatever scheme he's trying to do. And if it doesn't match, you're going to see the Mac Jones of last year. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think he's going to have a way better year. He has to. I don't think there's any other way to put it. He has to have a better year. As for the Dolphins, the Dolphins, fins up, guys. You guys are going to have a great season. I know everybody's going to be watching Tua, like man. But point is, if he's healthy, because that's what right? As long as he's healthy, phew, man, that's going to be crazy. I mean, you got Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I mean, you guys just have the squad. I'm not going to lie. I might try to go see a Dolphins game, you know? Once that weather cools down a bit, because I'm still in Florida right now, and I'm like, this heat is not a game. It is not to be played with. But we'll just see what happens. Oh, and one thing I'll also tell you, stop overreacting about the Chiefs, guys. Like, stop. I know I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan, but this is not even about being biased at the moment. It's just every time y'all try to say something about the Chiefs and they come back and win the Super Bowl, or they're at least in the conversation as a contender. So it's like, just pump the brakes. Let's, you know what I mean? Like, it's all good. It's all good. Let's just see what's going to happen. But who am I forgetting? Commanders, as you know, Daniel Snyder gone. You know, that makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Because now we're going to be able to see what other players potentially in the future will be able to come and play and really change everything around. Commanders, I'm sorry. Commanders fans, y'all already know. I don't really have high hopes. I think, I don't know. You might just have the same season. You might be a little bit better, but honestly, it's too hard to tell. I love the defense. I love the running game. You know, I was there. Yeah, I was a season ticket holder, so I was there. So, but we'll see what happens with that. I know everybody wants to talk about what's the Raiders gonna do, and the Broncos, and they've been in the news so much. Broncos meaning with Sean Payton and him just trying to implement his culture, because he was just so tired of, you know, just the way things were ran, because it didn't feel like a team. It was more so Russell Wilson, his own office. The other day he made the comment about him kissing babies, and you're not running for office. Let's relax. Let's just focus on football. Let's start to build a culture here, because we can't do last season. Not after Sean Payton called out Nathaniel Hackett. Like, we can't have a season like we did. Russell Wilson can't afford to. The Broncos Nation can't afford to. Like, we ain't doing this. And if I'm not mistaken, I think one of their wide receivers is already out. But let's just see, because at the end of the day, the Broncos are gonna go how Russell Wilson goes. That's just the end of it. We can sit here and say, oh, it's on Sean Payton and whatever. Nah, Sean Payton, he's good. Sean Payton can easily say, like, this is not my quarterback. It's not my guy. I'm doing the best that I can with him. They can easily say, hey, he's washed up. He's done. Seattle made a really good deal, because look what they got going on with Geno Smith. And that's going to be interesting, too. Talk about Seattle and see how far that they're able to go. But at the end of the day, it's like, we just got to watch the games, guys. We got to watch the games, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll put up my list, and I'll tell you exactly who I think is gonna come out victorious at the end. But I'll just let you guys know, tonight, Giants are winning. It's going to be a hard-fought game. And maybe even an overtime game. I'm hoping it's an overtime game. But if not, we'll see what happens. But y'all already know. I only leave y'all with one thing, right? Losses.
Gotta be true to yourself. In a world there's nothing else. Gotta play the game right, gotta make your path. You scratch, you dig, you lay on your ground. You bustin' your rounds, nobody gon' stop you. No ops, no cops, everything about you. Looking good, you good, she good. Y'all people really wanna know the reason. It's that ripple effect. That's just that ripple. That's just that ripple effect. What you do come